From the ring in Pearland, it is Championship Saturday as the DTFA Championship is on the line as the Galveston County Monarchs are getting ready to take on the Houston Lobos. Brandon Williams alongside Mike Lockwood. It's been a long ride to get here. It is raining. We have been under the delay for about almost an hour and a half, but we are just ready to get underway with the owner and kicker, Everett Jolivet, ready to kick off, Mike.
Well, I'll tell you what, you mentioned about the rain delay. Well, this is after a week of flooding in Houston. In fact, just tonight we were seeing that the flooding going on in Minute Maid Park just 10 miles up the road here from us. So it's just amazing that we are playing this football game tonight.
And it's definitely been amazing that, the bulk of the weather that has affected most of Texas has really avoided us here, south of the 288 area. Lots of rain, but not much flooding or very minimal damage, so we have to consider ourselves quite fortunate. Jolivet set to kick, and it is a wobbler that is going to be taken around the 25-yard line. Up back is up and will be stopped at around the 35-yard line. That looked like number 44, Byron McGee. So you'll see the Monarchs defense in action for the first time as the Lobos will step on the field offensively.
Very well strategically placed to kick there, Brandon, that being able to box him in on this side right here to prevent any type of a good return.
As we mentioned, this is the championship game, Lobos versus the Monarchs. And again, both teams working their way through a challenging regular season and playoffs to get here. And it was the Monarchs winning on this very field a couple of weeks ago in overtime by a count of 12-6 in order to reach this point.
Yeah, and I think they had to do a 92-yard drive if I remember.
It was.
Yeah, to be able to pull out that overtime victory. So that's a good thing coming into this ball game, that you believe in your team and do it when you know you need to do it. I think these two teams played a little earlier in the year. Is that correct, Brandon?
They did face off earlier this year.
And it was on kind of similar condition. I understood that game was a downpour as well.
It was. It's what Everett Jolivet was telling us, that it was raining. Pistol set for the Lobos as it's the quarterback, number 7, Edward Johnson. Handoff's going to be up the middle, and the running back is going to get a couple of yards. Going to be stopped by a host of Green, led by number 1. Reese Allen also in there, number 24, Terrence Blaine.
Be interesting to see how the field conditions, as you mentioned, we had a pretty doggone good downpour for about an hour previous to this game. The game was supposed to start at 7. We're starting now game time right at about 8:20. So, but this field here at the rig, it's got very good runoff, artificial turf. So we'll see how the field conditions affect the players.
Second down and 9-man front for the Monarchs, and back is going to work his way past a host of defenders before he's brought down by Allen. He'll still be about 3 yards short of the first down, and that running back was number 1, Sean Lanier. So a little one-on-one action there. You look at the numbers. Monarchs, of course, opened the season with a stretch where they had 20 straight quarters without allowing an offensive touchdown. That streak ended here in the rig, that second game of the regular season.
I noticed that the referees appear to be changing out the balls between plays, so the offense shouldn't have a sloppy ball for the exchange of the center.
3rd and 4, and it's going to be Lanier with the carry, and Lanier is going to be close to the first down. Should have enough for it. And right now the Lobos using a ground game early on to try to not only control the clock, but also perhaps try to wear down that Monarch defense.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's probably going to be the main objective with both offenses here. The early going in this ball game is establish some type of an offensive rhythm. We got a timeout coming up there, Brandon.
Timeout with 10:05 to go. It's the Monarchs taking a timeout. Coug Sports Net will be right back. Back after the first timeout. Monarchs using that timeout to try to regroup the defense. Lobos have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 47 with 10:05 to go. It'll be Johnson, and that timeout looked like it worked beautifully because big number 69, Cameron Pauls, literally put his paws on the ball carrier.
Yeah, I tell you what, with those big old outstretched arms, the running back didn't have he couldn't go right or left. All he could do was just kind of duck down and just take his punches.
Lanier had no shot on that one, and that was a loss of 3 on that play, so it'll make it 2nd down and 13 at the 43-yard line, 9:37 to go first quarter.
Looks like both teams have got a pretty good complement of full rosters tonight, so you shouldn't have too much of a shortage of players.
And with the weather cooling off significantly, fatigue won't be that big of a factor as Johnson drops back, steps downfield, has a man, and it is almost intercepted.
We got a flag.
Flag down as it was almost picked off.
Number 32 for the Monarchs defending that play.
32. Do not have a 32 on the roster.
Let's see. Yeah, that's 32. Yeah, that's who's was the defender on that, but it looks like it might be going again.
It looks like it's going to be a pass interference against Galveston County.
Well, being a little biased, I thought it was a clean play myself.
Yeah, it looked like both defender and receiver were both jockeying for the football. The officials didn't see it that way, so a big bump upfield for the Lobos as they are now at the 34-yard line. So a 23-yard penalty will give the Lobos their first visit inside Monarchs territory with 8:57 to go here in the first quarter. 8-man front, and it's going to be a handoff, and that's not going to get anything, and that is number 43 diving in the backfield, Byron Wells. And Wells has been a stalwart all season long coming off that end. And
as you mentioned, Brandon, the defense for the Monarchs has really been the bread and butter for this Monarchs team throughout the year. They've had a few hiccups along the way, but throughout the entire season they've hung tough, and they've always they've earned their keep.
Loss of 2 will make it 2nd down and 12. Johnson again in the shotgun, has Lanier in the backfield with him. Double wing set as Johnson drops back, steps up, throws, ball 1, hopper incomplete.
It's like he was hurt a little bit back there in that backfield.
Yeah, did have some pressure on him, was looking in the direction of number 35, Charles Murphy.
That brings up a 3rd and long, Brandon. Looks like maybe 12.
3rd and 12.
11.
3rd and 12 at the 36, 7:46 to go, first quarter. On a rainy Saturday night here at the Rig in Pearland High School.
I'm looking down at the track. It appears that we just got a gentle mist. It's really not a rain, but compared to what it was earlier, and then the referees held it up that hour plus because of the lightning. So far in the last, the beginning minutes of this game, no lightning.
3rd down, 4 wide receiver set. Pressure coming. Johnson drops back, throws, looking up in the air, and that ball is almost intercepted. Almost picked off, looking in the direction of number 1. And that's going to be Lanier.
Number 32 for the Monarchs again. Very good coverage.
So a 4th down and 12 coming up for Galveston County's defense. Obviously, this looks like this will be a go-for-it situation for the Lobos.
Yeah, you're talking about a 40-plus something
that's
yard
field goal. That's a 53-yard field goal, and I'm thinking that they have not signed up anyone of late that could carry that one.
Well, if he did, I think he'd be probably looking at a different type of career.
Exactly. Would be joining Hard Knocks with the Texans. 4th down, again, 4 wide receivers. Johnson back in the pocket. He's going to heave it up, looking downfield. Has a man dropped at the last second, and again, good coverage by the Monarchs as well.
Once again, number 32 for the Monarchs. So they picked on him 3 times. They got the benefit of the flag the first time. The last 2 times, he's been lights out.
Nice stop by the Monarchs as that opening drive will go for naught for the Lobos. We will start the Monarchs offense with a 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line with 6:19 to go in the first quarter. Brandon Robinson leading the offense out on the field.
And I'm not sure about injury report, but I think the entire offensive unit is injury-free, so that's a good thing coming into this championship game.
It'll be Robinson in the backfield with Sean Wells lining up at running back with them. They go with a 3-4 wide receiver set. It's trips to the far side. Robinson back, steps up. He wants to go downfield. That ball was underthrown, and it's going to be intercepted. Lobos with the football to the 40, and he's still on his feet and will be stopped at around the 32-yard line on the play with that interception. It's going to be number 11, Aaron Johnson. Robinson looked like that football got caught up in the wind a bit.
Yeah, it definitely just floated up there. I was expecting to come down on a straight trajectory, but it was kind of floating like a balloon there for a while.
And you can look at the flags on the goalpost.
Yeah, he was trying to put some touch on that, Brandon, but unfortunately that touch is exactly what caused that interception. If he'd have put a little bit more, meat into the pass, he might have had a connection.
So the Lobos needing just one play to get their offense back on the field. It's a 1st and 10.
From where they started.
Not too far. Yeah, 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line of Galveston County. 6:04 remaining in the first quarter. So the game's first big break going to the Lobos as they're looking to try a nod formation. They'll get everything back to normal. Modified pistol set. And it's going to be a toss. And that toss is going to get maybe 2, maybe 3 yards as a swarm of green came flying upon.
Linebacker number 54 for the Monarchs come up and says, you ain't getting any further than the 30-yard line.
Number 54, Maverick Adgate with the stop. Number 2 is the carrier, Brandon Wilson. So he will get maybe 2, and that's exactly what they'll give him, a 2-yard gain. So make it a 2nd down and 8 at the 30-yard line. Lobos again in a pistol set. The bad man in the backfield with Johnson is number 5, Nathaniel Broussard, and it's going to be Broussard with the carry. And Broussard had a bit of a hole before he was dragged down. Number 24 on the stop, and that is Terrence Blaine. He'll pick up 2 on the carry.
Yeah, that looked like it was going to go for quite a bit more, and you're right. Number 24 for the Monarchs stuck his hand out there and brought him down with a one-arm tackle.
Yeah, Blaine closed in a hurry and kept what looked like a big play from developing. So they'll give him 3 on the carry. Actually 2, so they get 3rd down and 6 at the 28-yard line. Again, Broussard in the backfield. And it will be a toss, flag down, and Broussard trying to make something happen as he reverses his field, gets to the 25, ball. No, actually,
that's a shoe.
So, yeah, a shoe. A shoe popped loose at around the 15-yard line.
I was following it thinking it was the ball popped out.
Flag down. We will see what the call is going to be.
That might be holding on reversing to that direction of the play.
That flag popped out the second, the very second it started, so we'll see what the call is going to be. That might be an encroachment play against going against the Monarchs. Wait and see what the call is going to be. Looks like it will be an encroachment. So it'll be a 3rd down and 1. So pretty close to where Broussard went down. 3rd down and 1. Ball at the 23-yard line of Galveston County. 4:31 to go here in the first quarter.
Definitely 2-down territory again, Brandon.
Monarchs stacking the line up. They've got a 7-man front right now. And it's going to be a handoff to Broussard. No, actually, it's going to be number 44 with the carry, and that's Byron McGee. And the fullback for the Lobos gets enough for a 1st down. Was able to fall forward. And they will spot the ball at the 20-yard line. So a 1st and 10 for Houston at the Monarchs 20-yard line with 3:51 to go here in the first quarter.
All right, ball in the red zone for the first time tonight. Let's see how the defense responds for the Monarchs.
Wilson in the backfield. It'll be Wilson again with the carry, and Wilson will take a host of defenders with him. Dragged down and around the 17-yard line. Host of defenders there, number 56 for the Monarchs also in there. Number 55 also in there as well.
Real fast-paced first quarter, Brandon.
Very
fast-paced. Clock already
fast-paced.
down to 3 minutes, 10 seconds here in this first quarter. No score, but everything on the ground except for the Lobos, take it back. They threw the ball 3 times, and then the Monarchs unfortunately had the one pass and the one play only, which was an interception.
So second down and 8 at the 18-yard line. Again, it's Wilson in the backfield. Johnson rolls out, steps up, throws, looking in the end zone, throwing in a double coverage and incomplete. Good double coverage there. Number 32 in the vicinity, also number 5, Darian Batiste.
Well, that's 3 times in a row now that the Monarchs were a split second away from an interception.
Intended receiver was number 13, Ja'Cory Amos. So third down and 8 coming up, 2:21 and counting in the first quarter. Again, you'd have to figure that this is going to be 4-down territory regardless of the situation.
So far, it doesn't appear that the field conditions are hampering either one of the offenses.
Johnson awaiting the snap and shotgun. They'll toss it, and it's going to be Johnson. Flags down as Johnson's going to be stopped well short of a first. Stopped around the 16-yard line. 32, also number 31. You can't help but see Big Devon Mason in there plugging the hole.
Looks like the Lobos going backwards here now. Do you
that was a hold.
Okay, so you take the 10-yard penalty, force them back further, and replay third down.
Exactly. So you have a third down and 18 situation at the 28-yard line.
Now this would statistically would be a passing down, but I'd be careful of a draw play here, Brandon.
That would definitely you definitely have to keep an eye on that aspect of it. It'll also be interesting to see if they'll throw the other side of the field, because all of Johnson's attempts
been on this
have
right
been
side.
they've been to the near side. And he's got 3 wide receivers branched out to the near side. Drops back, steps up, goes opposite, and that ball is going to be almost intercepted. Reese Allen almost with the pick.
Defended well again.
So the Monarchs secondary stepping up big here in the early going of this contest, as they have denied the Lobos any opportunities for their passing game to click. 4th down and 18 coming up. So it will be another long situation coming up for the Lobos as we approach 1 minute to go here in the first quarter.
So far, this defense for the Monarch is bent a little bit, but they have not broke. Let's see what kind of pressure they can bring to the quarterback again.
4th and 18. They'll go with a 4-man front. And they will spread the field. They will, 5-man front. As they wait the shotgun. Johnson back, has pressure, and it's going to be knocked down.
There's your answer. Big number 99.
Big 99 in there with the tackle. And that's going to stall that drive. So the Monarch defense steps up huge again. Yes, the Thunder rolls and the Monarchs strike. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line for Galveston County after that 10-yard loss. So we will see the Monarch offense on the field for the second time. They'll run just their second offensive play up the first quarter.
With only 29 seconds left. In the first quarter, that is.
Wells in the backfield with Robinson. They'll go at their 4 wide receiver set, 2 to either side. Robinson will hand it off to Wells. Wells cuts back, and he will gain about maybe a yard. Number 99 for the Lobos, and that is going to be I'll pull his number up real quick.
Boy, that tell you what, they got some pretty big
They've got some size
across that front defensive line for the Lobos.
They've got some size, no question about that. Number 99, that is Joseph Edmond. And on the last play of the first quarter, it's going to be Wells again.
Boy, he's keeping them legs churning throughout.
Gets the ball to about the 42-yard line. So, end of the first quarter, a fast-moving first quarter. Lobos dominated with the number of plays and yardage, but unable to get the end zone as the Monarch defense stepped up twice. 1 quarter in the books in this DTFA championship game. We are scoreless. Coug Sports Net will be right back. Brandon Williams, Mike Lockwood with you here out at the Rig in Pearland. DTFA championship game. Title on the line as the Monarchs and the Lobos square off scoreless as we start the second quarter. Robinson back, swing pass. Ball is going to be caught in and out of the hands of Terrell Harper. And a 4th down coming up for the Monarchs.
Yeah, that was a bread and butter pitch and catch right there.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where you really can't say, the rain might have had an impact or anything of the sort. That ball just slipped out the hands of the normally reliable Terrell Harper.
Yeah, and Harper looked at his hands like, what the heck, guys? You're supposed to caught that ball. that didn't compute. He had that look of don't know what happened.
And the Monarchs pulling all the stops here as they go for it here on a 4th and 5. Robinson will go for a quick kick, catches them off guard, see if they can get a bit of a bounce. And they do, as it's going to die down at around the 16-yard line. They'll spot it at the 16, they'll spot it at the 15. So a good punt
a little
by
bit
Robinson.
A little bit of a chess game right there, because the Lobos, I think, they were expecting an actual offensive play instead of the punt.
Caught them off guard, and Robinson, the ever versatile one, gets the punt and puts the Lobos in deep in their own territory. As that ball is going to be spotted at the 16-yard line with the 11:06 to go here in the first half. So the Lobos, who have been afforded good field position in their opening 2 drives, are going to find themselves deep in their own end. So it'll be interesting to see what the offense of the Lobos, led by number 7, Edward Johnson, do here on their 3rd drive of the evening. Johnson will get the handoff. Looks like Lanier with the carry, and Lanier will get the ball to around the 21-yard line. Mason in on the stop. Also in there at gate number 54. Also number 42 in the play as well. So a 2nd down coming up for the Lobos. They'll spot the ball at the 22-yard line. So a gain of 6 on that one. We'll make it 2nd and 4 at the 22, 10:30 in counting.
This game might be a game of turnovers, Brandon, in field position.
It looks like it could be. Both teams very, very solid defensively, and you add the weather in there, definitely could be a difference. Ball is going to be caught. Nice grab. And that's a reception that's going to move the chains. Well, I'll tell you what, the Lobos jerseys are very difficult to read jersey numbers
I'm glad you said that, because even me being able to zoom in here and having the monitor on the camera, it's still difficult for me to tell what those numbers are.
Yeah, those are real difficult, from our vantage point, really hard to see. Looks like number 20, Daryl Hudgen, was the receiver on that play. So 1st and 10 coming up. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line, so they will stretch the offense out 4 wide receivers, and the officials stop it. And it looks like they're going to go ahead, saw the lightning strike, and it looks like they're going to delay this one for a moment. So teams will go off the field for the time being. It looks like we're going to be delayed momentarily. We'll let you know when we get back in. Coug Sports Net will be right back.